All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the October West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Call. We're very excited to be here. Happy fall, y'all. Amber, any updates from you?
Nope, just hi everyone. Maybe tell us something you're proud of this month in the chat if you don't mind. Just want to celebrate successes. But yeah, we'll dive right in. We got a pretty jam-packed agenda.
All right. So for the Entrepreneur Spotlight today, we're going to be letting Emily talk about her company start. So Emily, over to you.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Rouse. I am the owner of Edgington Studio. We are based in Wheeling, West Virginia. We are a cut and sew apparel manufacturer, which is just a fancy way of saying that we make clothing. So emerging designers who are designers that come to us, it's their first time designing a collection. They'll come to us and say, I have this idea for a collection, and we help them make a muslin pattern so that it can be repeated, a sample, and then we'll produce it up to 50 times. By doing it 50 times, that's why we're considered small batch compared to some of our manufacturing counterparts that do 300 unit minimums. So I kind of got my start. I guess my origin story would be when I was a Girl Scout here in Wheeling. Growing up, we did not have home economics, the sewing portion in our classroom. So the first time I ever used a sewing machine was as a Girl Scout on a field trip. I used a sewing machine, I made a finished product, and I just loved it so much. I got one for Christmas that year, and I guess the rest is history. I started making my prom dresses, my homecoming dresses, and then I eventually went to school for it and also studied business, and then moved to New York, working in the factories and under designers to learn more about how to do this whole process. And then during COVID, it was March of 2020, I came back to Wheeling, and I was getting ready to produce my first fashion collection, and the factories up in New York had all closed down, the ones that I built relationships with. And so I figured, why don't we go ahead and get a factory started in Wheeling? Because Wheeling has a really rich history of garment manufacturing. We used to have Chris Sport, we had Bobby Brooks. So I knew the talent and the infrastructure was here and would be really good. But I would say the main issue that we've kind of run into, I guess, since we opened basically, is without that home ec in the classroom, we don't really have a talent pool that's coming in ready to sew. So I'm 29 years old and I did not have home ec in school. And then the other people working with me, the next age up would be in their 60s and 70s. And so they are the ones that had home ec in school. They have a background in, making clothes, some familiarity with it, but they do want to retire soon. So they've made it very clear to me they don't want to keep working, forever. So now my challenge is trying to get a new generation interested in sewing. So a very important part of our mission is, inspiring and educating the next generation of garment professionals. And that's kind of where we are right now. Training has been a very expensive and time-intensive outlay. We have very rapid deadlines in manufacturing, especially to stay competitive within the United States and even around the world. We want people to choose made in America, made in West Virginia. But it's been difficult trying to get things going from the ground up. So some of our solutions, we have come up with a certified apprenticeship program. It is certified from the Department of Labor. And Amber and Tara have helped us work with the West Virginia Department of Education. So we are working to see what options are available to get high school students into our studio as internship credit, kind of get some hands-on experience, because this is something that I would have loved to have as I was growing up. So instead of working retail, I would have loved to have a place where I could go, do sewing and really make products rather than working in retail. And I'm glad that we have this here now because I think it's going to help with some youth retention as well. If you're interested in fashion design and manufacturing, you now have a place locally that you can stay and you don't have to go out of state to learn and to work the way that I did. So that's kind of where we are now. Guess that's our rundown. So thank you so much. And I will drop more information in the comments if you want to get a hold of me or learn more about us through our website. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Emily. And if you have any specific asks for the ecosystem, maybe drop those. I know we talked about the talent pool specifically. Any asks, if you want to drop them in the chat. And I know I already have a couple people in there that have said very positive things about your story and connections for you. So definitely encourage you to check them out. And I don't know if you said this, but I'm correct that I was obsessed with Emily's story, by the way, guys. When you came back to Wheeling from COVID, you just never returned, right? Like you just left everything in New York and just never went back.
Yeah, so I was subletting an apartment in New York for the last several years before COVID started, and I had packed for 4 days to come into town and visit my boyfriend. And that was kind of when my mom was like, "Oh, maybe you should bring some work with you just in case it's a little longer because flights are getting canceled." And 2 weeks turned into 2 months, turned into 4 years.
Yep.
So I eventually got my stuff down here, but I was wearing the same 4 outfits for several months while everything was shut down. Yeah.
And she was just like, yep, I'm going to start a business now. So, I mean, I love that. I think that's amazing. And we will certainly continue to try to help you get your talent pool. If anybody has connections for those apprenticeships or the internship opportunities too, that's definitely a good opportunity. Great.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Next up, we have the United States Patent and Trademark Office here to do our resource spotlight. Elizabeth, if you want to kind of get ready, and we'll throw it over to you.
Fantastic. And thank you, Amber. It's a pleasure to be on with you and all of the fantastic folks who are on today. We appreciate the opportunity to pop in and highlight some resources, things going on at the USPTO, valuable programs and initiatives. I'd like to call attention most specifically to two of our upcoming events, and we always have just a host of upcoming virtual free events, but there's two I specifically want to call out today. One of which is our patent pro bono program, Pathways to Inclusive Innovation. It's actually taking place tomorrow on our Alexandria, Virginia headquarters in person, but it is also available virtually. It's a program that's going to be running the entirety of the afternoon. It's going to be introducing the opportunity to participate in the Patent Pro Bono program, which is free legal assistance for pursuing a patent application. The program's going to include a lot more, though, than just that. It's going to include an introduction to intellectual property. And then there's a second part that is being put on by our Patent Pro Bono Advisory Council that's going to go into the evening hours, which you can sign up for as well. Both are free and open in a hybrid format. That secondary portion is going to focus not only on intellectual property and providing the assistance of free legal resources, but it's also going to get into topics such as funding and mentoring. So it's really kind of an embracive soup to nuts program, again, taking place from 12:30 to about 8:30. And people can drop in and attend as much or as little of it as they would like. The next program that I would like to call out, and with that, I am stepping over quite a few other programs that are taking place in the calendar lineup, but I do want to call attention to our next Women's Entrepreneurship, or WE program. Under the direction of our current director, Director Kathy Vidal, we have stood up a monthly Women's Entrepreneurship program. And this next one is actually taking place in Evanston, Illinois. But don't fear, it is also being offered virtually. It is taking place on October 18th, and it is going to be focused on protecting and promoting your brand. And that's really an in-depth conversation about securing a trademark or multiple trademarks to protect your brand, the name of your business, as well as the goods and services that you are providing. We recognize that oftentimes for individuals, they may not be creating something protectable by a patent, but in all likelihood are creating something that is protectable by a trademark. So it's going to be a really useful conversation, lots of expertise from across the world of small business in particular, people putting their brand to work and how it's really benefited them. Last but not least, I would like to call out um, that we have some upcoming intern and externships that are going to be announced very soon. Now, I'm giving you a little insider information because they're not available yet on our website, but I was in a meeting just today where they were talking about that these opportunities were going to be posted, the majority of which are for college students. Some are for people outside of college or in graduate programs, and many of them are paid internships or externships. And because we get such a host of people applying for them, you want to keep an eye out for them and apply as soon as you see them because they'll get snapped up in an instance. So I want to encourage people to visit our website. When you visit our website, If you're interested in a job or externship, I would encourage you to visit the part of our website at the very top that says About Us, but specifically says Jobs, because that's where you're going to find the job listings. So that's it for me today, but I appreciate being included and appreciate the opportunity to share with the West Virginia ecosystem.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We really appreciate the USPTO office being involved in West Virginia entrepreneurship ecosystem. So if you'd like to put your information in chat,
Happy to do so.
there we go. All right. Next up, Ryan Thorne. What's going on with the USDA, buddy? Do we have any opportunities?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And thanks, Amber and Tara, for inviting me to this month's call, just to provide 120 seconds worth of what's going on at USDA. It's great to see so many friends here on the call. Appreciate everybody taking time out of Amazon Prime Day and your shopping to join with us this afternoon. But I am Ryan Thorne, State Director of USDA Rural Development here in West Virginia. For those of you that don't know, we are sort of the economic community development arm of USDA. Through our nearly 70 programs, we help in the areas of business, housing, community facilities, waste, telecom, and a few others. I often say this in jest, but it's not far from the truth that you can really build a community from the ground up with the programs at USDA Rural Development. Real quick, I'll just sort of break these down into programs that can directly support small businesses and entrepreneurs. So the applicants can be the small businesses or entrepreneurs themselves. And I have three to highlight here. One being REAP, our Rural Energy for America program. This provides grant funding for sort of two tracks: energy efficiency and renewable projects. So if you have a warehouse, a shop that is in need of some energy efficiency investments, lighting, windows, insulation, etc., even equipment. If you have some outdated manufacturing equipment that you need to replace with more energy efficient equipment, there are potential grants up to $500,000 or 50% of the total project cost to support that project. And on the renewable side, so think solar panels on your rooftop, we can provide grants of up to $1 million or 50% of a project cost for that program. And it is open only for small businesses, for-profit small businesses, and ag producers. The next is our Business and Industry Loan Guarantee Program. And let me back up. REAP, we're on quarterly cycles for REAP now, thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act. So the next round of funding will close on December 31st, and then the next round will open on January 1st. And then on our Business and Industry Loan Guarantee Program, on this program, the banks are our customers, basically. So a small business can go to a bank of their choosing, and we can potentially provide an 80% loan guarantee on the principal of a loan up to $25 million. So, of course, a lot of entrepreneurs know that some banks may be a little hesitant to loan to a startup. So this mitigates the risk to that bank by the USDA guaranteeing a loan up to $25 million. The next is our Value Added Producer Grant Program, or VAPG. This is a 50-50 grant to applicant contribution program. So think of this program: if you are growing tomatoes, and you want to create salsa, we can provide a grant to buy the equipment, do the marketing, to basically value add what you grow. We've had Mountain Steer in Greenbrier County take advantage of this program. Appalachian Botanicals, the Lavender Farm in Boone County, have taken advantage of this program. So it's just really neat. A couple others that I'll mention. These are for organizations that support small businesses. So your EDAs and other entities, your institutions of higher education. Our most popular, the Rural Business Development Grant Program, or RBDG. This program is probably our most flexible. If you can tie a project in with economic development, job creation, workforce development, it would likely be eligible under RBDG. The sweet spot for those grants are $50,000 to $99,000, and we'll start promoting the FY24 round probably in December, and applications will be open probably January, February. And then finally, our intermediary reed lending program. This provides funding to organizations to in turn provide those funds out to small businesses. Organizations like Woodlands, Partners Community Capital, Wyoming County EDA have taken advantage of this program, and usually we can provide funding. They could usually provide funding and technical assistance at a more competitive rate than your private lenders. But I know I'm probably over, so I'll just stop there. Thanks again. I'll put my contact information in the chat. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions.
Thanks, Ryan. We had a couple comments in the chat about where to find links around specific opportunities, if you wouldn't mind checking this out. You also reminded me that we do have a timer. So unfortunately, our next person will be subject to the timer. And from then on, the timer will come back into play. So without further ado, I'll throw it over to my good colleague, Jennifer Watering, for the first timer of the day.
Thanks, Amber. Last time she gave me like half the time to talk, but welcome for my 2 minutes of discussion about the Bridging Innovation Week. We are just continuing to add more and more to the agenda. We just had a meeting today, and it's been a great opportunity to work with our partners on this. We want to let everyone know that call for speakers is out now. You have until November 30th to submit that proposal, as well as we are accepting sponsorships. Everything from $250, which is the exhibitor level, all the way up to however much you'd like to donate or to sponsor. The sky's the limit, but we have different incentives for each of those levels. I will share those. Amber was just so kind, or Cam was so kind to drop that in the chat. The Business Link site gives a brief overview of the agenda. As I said, we are continuing to update things and make it better and better every time we have a meeting. I feel like we add something more exciting and something new to it. So check out the Business Link page. If you're interested in sponsoring, please look for that information on there. Reach out to me if you have any questions. And if you would like to speak, or you know anybody that would like to speak, please check out the speaker opportunity. We'd love to have lots to choose from. Look at that. I had 36 seconds left too. So
Good job, Jen.
thanks.
Yes, so thank you for sharing that. So we are very excited for Bridging Innovation Week. So again, if you're interested in speaking or would like to nominate someone to speak, you can do so, and we will be sending the information in the follow-up. So next up, Aaron Kirby, can you tell us a little bit about the Appalachian Social Enterprise Summit?
Hey everyone, thanks for having me today. Sorry I'm sitting in my car doing pre-conference things, traveling around, so apologies for the bad angle here. But yeah, I'm Aaron Kirby. I represent Ohio University. We are one of the folks hosting the Appalachian Social Enterprise Summit this year. So this summit is just kind of to do with all things social entrepreneurship. In the morning sessions, we're going to have like pathways to success. So this is where we have some local entrepreneurs coming in to talk about how they got their start, what they're doing, anything unique they're doing, how to start up a social entrepreneurship, etc. The afternoon sessions are going to be more of those deep dive sessions. So looking at opportunity sectors in the entrepreneur and social entrepreneurship. Then we're going to end the day off with a pitch competition for social entrepreneurs all around the Appalachia region. I think we have folks coming from like 5 or 6 different states, which is really awesome. Now this conference is tomorrow, so it's a bit of a last minute. But if you're at all interested in social entrepreneurship, I really highly recommend you register. And I will put the link to the website and the registration in the chat.
Great. Thank you so much. Yep, it's tomorrow, but it's nearby. So it's their friends, their neighboring states. So be sure to check that out if you're available and interested in social enterprises. Next, we have Chris Justice, and we are here to talk today about succession planning. We know that's continues to be a big topic for the ecosystem. So Chris, do you want to take it away?
Sure. Thank you. Hi, my name is Chris Justice, and I'm an attorney at Tyson & Brock, licensed in West Virginia and Ohio. And this topic came up when my partner met with Tara. They worked together at West Virginia University and talked about there's a lot of concern and need for succession planning in business. And this is a topic that I've given presentations on before for 45 minutes or an hour. So to cram stuff into the 2 minutes is going to be tough, but I'm going to try to hit on some high points to think about. I think with succession planning, it's never too early to think about it. Actually, one of the things that I do is when I'm sitting down and I'm working with a client on setting up a new business, that's one of the first things that I talk about is succession planning. What happens if you get hit by the bus? What happens if you and your partner get in a fight? What do you want to have in place to be able to manage that situation, to take that investment that you've made? And for an entrepreneur, you may not be investing money in the stock market. You may not be investing money in rental properties. You're putting it into your business. So you want to make sure that the investment that you put in, you're able to get out. There's really two types of succession planning. There's as I said, the hit by the bus, the immediate, and then what happens when you decide you want to retire, you want to sell the business. And again, it's never too early to start thinking about that. If you're approaching that stage where you're thinking about maybe selling your business to somebody else and moving on, don't think about it and start planning for it a month or 2 months or a year before you get started, and you want to make that happen. Do it years in advance, because private equity groups, they want to get income level or revenue numbers at a certain level. How do you reach that number? So plan about it in advance. I'm happy to talk with anybody more about this. As I said, 2 minutes really isn't enough. Or if the organization wants to host an event or me as a speaker, I'm happy to participate. But thank you for giving me the time to speak today.
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate you jumping on with us. All right, Cam Keith, can you tell us what's going on with Spark West Virginia?
I can. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if you guys can see this. So the Adventure Group, with partnership with the West Virginia Department of Education, is excited to announce that we are launching Spark West Virginia, a small business and big idea generation competition. So this is for middle school students and high school students throughout West Virginia. It's really kind of an educational exercise, but we want to give students the opportunity to enter either like their small ideas in the local community, or if they have some sort of big idea that they would love the opportunity to launch. So there are going to be 3 rounds. The first round is going to be just like your business sign up, your intent to apply, which will be due November 10th. And you can also access this on Venture Dash, but we're really excited to kind of get the word out. And if you guys have any students, teachers, educators, anyone in your network, please feel free to share.
Thank you so much, Cam. We're really excited about this. And we want to just give a shout out to our girl, Tara, that started the high school business. Well, didn't start, but ran that high school business plan competition for so many years. And this is, now that Ignite has come to the table, we are kind of building a pipeline into Ignite with Spark. So we're really hopeful you all will share that with the talent in your communities that are young folks interested in entrepreneurship. So next up, we have Mary Legg to talk about Pitch Southern West Virginia.
Amber, so Pitch Southern West Virginia is our business idea competition here at the West Virginia Hive in partnership with the Launch Lab at Tech. And it is actually Thursday night, so 2 nights away. And Ryan's actually one of our judges, so we'll see him there again. And so obviously it's too late to enter. We already have all those folks selected and their pitch decks loaded and all of that great stuff. We do have this twice a year, so it will be coming up again in about March. And then again next fall. So keep that in mind as far as entries go. But you still can register, and I'll drop the link to our Eventbrite in our chat. And you can register to attend as an audience member. And the audience members actually get to vote for their favorite entrepreneur or idea. And then this year we've added a cool little category. The audience vote has always has always factored into the actual judging criteria for the finalists, but this year there will be a completely separate category where the audience vote is just for a $250 cash prize on top of whatever other prizes they may get. And so we do have the student division with tech students, and then we have the community division of folks who are in our 13 county service area here in Southern West Virginia. And so it'll be a great time. There's still plenty of time to register, so I'll drop that link in if you want to come out and enjoy that.
Great. Thank you so much, Carrie. You and Judy do an excellent job, and we are really looking forward to seeing the winners from that competition. So, all right, next up, Kara Mullins, can you show us some highlights from the West Virginia Makes Festival?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Tara. I'm Kara from Marshall Advanced Manufacturing Center. this past Friday, we had our 10th annual West Virginia Makes Festival. We had 36 competitors, and we were able to give out $10,000 total to West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky entrepreneurs and makers. And now I'm going to share a video with you, just showing you some highlights.
Today is the 10th annual West Virginia Makes Festival, with our lead sponsor, West Virginia American Water, making it possible for us to give away $10,000 to adult and youth competitors who have fantastic, innovative, creative ideas. Every year, aspects of the Makes Festival grow, whether our partners, sponsors, the schools we're connected with. The level of innovations increases and increases in technicality and in quantity. So there's some heart and soul behind the West Virginia Makes Festival and our Maker and STEM education programs at the Marshall Advanced Manufacturing Center. And that heart and soul is that we believe it's worthwhile to invest in our community, invest in the young, inspire, and lend confidence to them. As they go and grow, yes, we at the Marshall Advanced Manufacturing Center offer a wide array of services for everyone from community projects to corporate projects. Whether you're doing engineering or you're doing art, there's a place for you at Marshall Advanced Manufacturing Center. I think that for those who come to see, they walk away inspired. They walk away with some confidence. Hey, I really can make that thing. I really can accomplish something. I spoke to someone today who did it. So there's evidence. And we can move forward with a community of people who are kind of swimming with the current in the same direction.
So we're planning October 4th tentatively for next year. So go ahead and pencil that in, everybody. And we're always looking for as much participation as possible. So I'll drop my contact info in, and if you guys would like to be a part of it, go ahead and shoot me an email.
Thank you so much. You are very ahead of the game in terms of getting that save the date out there. So we appreciate it, and such a cool event. And thank you for sharing that. Next up, we've made recently a lot of connections in the Huntington area because of Bridging Innovation Week. And we have a really cool model that we just wanted to ask Sarah Bostick to talk to. She is the City of Huntington's business services advocate, and we'd love to just have her share a little bit about what she does. So Sarah?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Tell you a little bit about what I do here at the City of Huntington. So my role as a business services advocate here at the City of Huntington is to help businesses navigate our zoning, permitting, and licensing process here at the City of Huntington. I started my role here as a business services advocate in 2021, and lucky enough, my supervisor is also my predecessor of being a business services advocate, and Mayor Steve Williams in 2013 felt that we needed to have people on the advocate really on their behalf to help them through the entire process, help them answer questions and speak on their behalf. So she really helped guide the way. And so when I stepped in this role in 2021, I was able to help answer any questions people had, help them navigate through where they needed to go for the state, city, answer any questions they have, and just be kind of that support system. And also, I'm a huge supporter of the West Virginia Business Link because I am always telling people, utilize the free resources out there. I want businesses to be successful here in West Virginia. And I always tell them, here, there's a lot of support out there. Let me help get you connected. So I'm always trying to show entrepreneurs the tax incentives, all the things that they have available to them, whether it be state, federal, or here at the local level. So that's my job here in a nutshell. I'm trying not to keep it under 2 minutes. So thank you all for the time, and hope to have you all have a business here in Huntington soon.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you so much. And we're really excited to be down in Huntington for Bridging Innovation 2024. So thank you for all your help with the planning. Okay, next up, Sarah Walmsley, true or false? There is a CTSO event in November.
This is where you need to go.
True. Tell us about it.
Okay, so I can't host my screen, but that's okay. So we do have a West Virginia CTSO Fall Leadership Conference coming up this in November 2nd and 3rd, and I believe it is going to let me share my screen. And we will have Educators Rising there, West Virginia DECA, West Virginia FBLA, FCCLA, and HOSA students there. So we estimate there will be close to 600 plus students at this event. Our agenda goes with day one. The big part for people on this call is we will have rotating interactive sessions where they'll be able to go to Expo Hall. So if any of you would be interested in having an expo table and connecting with those students, which hopefully will be future employers of yours one day or future entrepreneurs of the state of West Virginia, then we would love to have you. We currently do have some supporters. Anybody that is a supporter automatically gets their logo on this page. And we do have a form, and I will drop this form in the link, and you can choose which organization. It is $125. That's to offset our costs. And also the rest of the money goes towards scholarships for students to attend that conference. And the student officers will be doing workshops throughout the day, and those students will have a designated time. Like all students will rotate through the schedule and have at least 30 minutes in the expo hall where they will have a dedicated time to visit your table. And if you want any other involvement with, I am the state advisor for West Virginia Future Business Leaders of America. So if you ever want to be a judge or get involved with it in any other way outside of this expo hall, please feel free to contact me. I'll make sure my information's in the chat. And that's all I got.
Great, thank you. I did some quick girl math on that cost, and for $125 and 600 students, that's an easy 20 cents per student for reach. So well worth the investment, everybody. Next up, we have Betsy Heath, who's going to talk to us about the Company Labs Ask an Expert series. So Betsy, take it away.
Hi there. Thanks for having me, everybody. Nice to see all these faces and everybody excited about entrepreneurship. So actually, if you don't mind, Amber, if I could share my screen.
Yeah, able to.
Go ahead and get that up there. I started a series called Ask an Expert. There we go. Are we able to see it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not typical. Okay. Well, I'll drop it in the chat in a minute, just like I said. Okay, so we started a series again called Ask an Expert. Last year when we did this, we were bringing in like resource folks that could help individuals, attorneys, accountants, insurance agents, folks like that. This year we're doing a B2B or business to business series. And so we're bringing in folks that actually can help other entrepreneurs and help their business and help with these connections. So this morning we had our first one of the year. In 2 weeks on October 24th. We're having our second, which is, I'm really excited about this one. It's Mountain View Solar, which is the premier solar company here in the Eastern Panhandle. And they work with companies and residences all along the East Coast. But they are huge advocates of the USDA REAP grant that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. And they actually have folks on staff that can help you through the grant process. They offer that service. So I'm going to have the CEO, president, founder, Mike McKechnie, his vice president and controller, Kelly Waugh, and their senior PV installer and battery consultant, Mike Stedholm. So I'm really excited about this one. We're going to be making a big announcement, hopefully next month, in next month's meeting, about a new program we're going to be offering here at the James Rumsey Company Lab Entrepreneurship Center. So a little teaser there. So we'll see you next month. Ta-da.
Thank you. I'm really excited about the announcement. But yeah, we're not gonna you got to come back next month to hear that announcement. So next up, I have the pleasure of introducing my co-chair to talk about Ignite West Virginia. So Tara?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to quickly say Ignite West Virginia entries are due January 18th. We have plenty of time, so tell your friends. I'll drop a link in the chat and let me know if you have any questions. All right, so I'm going to take the rest of my 2 minutes to say and send a congratulations to Brian Shaw, who was recently appointed to the advisory board of the West Virginia Small Business Development Center. So congratulations to Brian.
Thank you. And while we are I'm gonna go ahead and we have a little bit of another poll of our participants just to get some crowd think going around some opportunities. So if you do have something you want to share, go ahead and put it in the chat while I get this set up. But we're gonna just source some information from you all, and we have some opportunities that we want to talk about. So y'all know I love my Menti meter. So if you wouldn't mind going to Menti and putting in that code. I'll give everyone a couple seconds to do that. We want to ask for your all's recommendations around Bridging Innovation Week keynotes, specific to the Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference that'll take place on that Tuesday. So go ahead and get in. You can do it on a phone. You can do it on your computer, and then we'll go through the questions. And then I'll share one quick opportunity that we have coming up, and then we'll throw it over to Mark Burdett on the Business Link side and open up to comments. Okay, so it'll be at the top now, in case you haven't had a chance to join. So what we're thinking about doing and what we heard from the ecosystem last year in our feedback survey was that we really want to hear the stories of our entrepreneurs. So there's going to be 2 prompts here. The first is to nominate a small business success story in the state, and the second is to nominate somebody that's in a high growth sector that could speak to some of the growing opportunities in the state. So we'd love just to get your thoughts on any small businesses that are successful in the state that we should reach out to as potential keynotes. So if you have ideas for those, whether it's somebody that you've worked with or it's somebody that you are familiar with, or maybe it's just a business that you enjoy going to and seeing, please put in the small business perspective here for this piece. Bonus points if you have an email. See, I love this. And we'll do our digging too on other opportunities. We know you all know more than we do about this.
Amber, we might have to adjust our agenda some to get all these people in.
I know, I know.
Gosh.
Hey, maybe we also will reach out to them about entrepreneur spotlights. So
there's also some that are coming in the chat too, Amber, just so.
Oh, good. Yeah, please put them in the chat if you aren't able to get on the Mentimeter. We'll source all of that. Great. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. If you do have more small businesses, drop it into the chat. The next one is the high growth entrepreneur area. So these are sectors or sectors with a lot of high growth that people are working in, or if they're in a company that has a lot of high growth opportunity. We want to kind of highlight both ends of the spectrum of entrepreneurship, from small business to high growth. So any thoughts on here, please drop them in as well. And yeah, and if you do want to just maybe even put in a sector that you're really interested in learning about, that can also be something we can drop in here. I love this. We'll leave that open for like 1 more minute, and then I'm going to switch it over and talk about our next opportunity, and then we will throw it back out to the group and to Mark. Awesome. Thank you all very much. So on the last call, we had sourced your feedback around mission, vision, and values of the ecosystem. And we wanted to just give another opportunity for you all to lend your voice to the work that we're doing around crafting a vision and a growth strategy for the ecosystem. So we've set up a series of listening sessions over the next couple of months as we continue to hone that document. I will drop registration links in the chat for anybody that's interested, but they'll be hosted through Zoom. We'll kind of share what we've crafted, our ideas for the future from your feedback, and continue to get your voices in that mix. So we're looking at the first one being October 17th. That's a Tuesday at 11, and then hosting 2 in November, 1 on a Thursday and 1 on a Tuesday, kind of at different times of the day, just to get everyone's thoughts. So those registration links will be put in the chat, as well as the follow-up. If you have time and would lend us some more of your expertise, we really appreciate it. And we want to make sure that this is co-created with you all. We know that you all are really the experts, boots on the ground, doing a lot of this. And we're really grateful for your collaboration and continued thought partnership as we pull this together. So just want to get those on your radar. We'll put them into business link calendar. We'll send them out in the follow-up. Just want to get as many voices to the table as possible. And if there's somebody's voices that we haven't heard, please forward it to them. We want to make sure that we're also getting the people that haven't yet been invited to the table there to talk to us. So appreciate you all. And I'm going to then throw it over to Mark with a quick update on Business Link and, as always, our normal requests. So Mark, you want to take it away?
Thanks, Amber. My name is Mark Burdett, Program Coordinator for West Virginia Business Link, and we're a service of the West Virginia Small Business Development Center. Apologize for my voice. I'm hanging on by a thread, but I didn't want to miss our monthly call. And I just want to provide folks a reminder. Before I do that, shout out to Sarah. Thank you for promoting Business Link and sharing that with your clients. That's what it's there for. And want to take this opportunity that if you are a resource partner, and you're not in West Virginia Business Link, please take this time to reach out and join the network. The sign up link is in the chat there. Once you sign up, it comes directly over to us, and we'll take a look at it and get you on there. That way you'll be able to be found when entrepreneurs search the database of our over 160 plus resource partners. So we encourage you to do that. If you're not part of the network, we would love to have you. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. It comes out twice a month. Also, I want to thank everyone who's taken, we've seen a lot of activity with the online calendar. Really appreciate that. And for those who are not taking advantage of that, please do so. I've provided the link in the chat. It's a great way to get your event marketed to the entire ecosystem. So that's all I have. Those who, Cameron, be sure to send me that flyer. I'll get that in the newsletter and on the website. Anything with regards to pitch competitions, please send them to my email and we'll get them up on the website. As you recall, last month we unveiled that dedicated page to pitch competitions. So we definitely want to make sure that we highlight your event. So thank you for the time, and I'll throw it back to Tara and Amber.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm sorry you're feeling under the weather, but we always appreciate you being here and your continued support of the ecosystem. You're an incredible partner. So at this time, we're going to open it up to the ecosystem for other announcements. I do have Jessica Toon. Can you tell us about the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition?
Absolutely. So thank you guys for the invite. Shout out to Mark Burdett, who got me in on this meeting this week. So I am with the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition. So we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization focused on food access all across the state. So that can look like a lot of different things, helping with farmers, value-added producers. So think jams, jellies, pickles, etc. But I specifically work with rural grocery stores. So we actually have a local foods gathering for the Kanawha Valley region at JQ Dickinson Saltworks this Thursday, October the 12th, from 6 to 8 p.m. So this event invites farmers, value-added producers, and retailers, as well as support service providers such as the WVDA, such as Food and Farm Coalition, Truist, SPDC, all kinds of wonderful people to come. So we hope to make some connections, have it serve as a networking event, but also to allow people to kind of discuss the challenges they're facing and for support service providers to discuss solutions to some of those challenges. So if you guys are free on October the 12th and want to come by JQ Dickinson Saltworks in Malden, it's a gorgeous location. If not, pop on over to wvfoodandfarm.org and I'll drop that little link in the chat. Thank you guys for giving me a minute to talk. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us. First time attendee. We're going to have to start like doing a badge or something for that. Awesome. Next, we have Chris Alder. We have something cool to showcase. So Chris, do you want to take it away and showcase what you got going on at the Secretary of State? If you're talking, you're muted, Chris.
Can you hear me now?
I sure can. How are you?
Super. Second time's a charm. How are you?
Good.
So I'm going to do this quick. We're going to show a snippet of something that we have in our prototype lab here. I think some people here know that we rolled out a chatbot called Solo that's able to help people start their business here in the state. But we've taught Solo to read the entire state code in a matter of seconds and answer questions in fairly plain English. And I think what's important here, this is kind of almost creepy cool, futuristic innovation here. But what's important here is the interface. It's also that we can deploy this knowledge in a number of ways. So it can be what I'm about to show you now, which is pretty futuristic. It could be an email. It could be a text message. It could be an AI representative working the call center at 2 o'clock in the morning if you need help and our offices are closed. But we wanted to give you a glimpse of what we've been working on. We know West Virginia is full of innovators, and we support that. And so we believe it's our duty as a state agency to innovate alongside with y'all. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. It lets me.
Code. What would you like to know? Answer your questions about the West Virginia State Code. What would you like to know?
So as you just heard, this is Marta. She's a really cool piece of technology at IBM that we call Soul Machine. A couple things that I want you to keep in mind before we start asking questions. So all the responses that you're going to hear are being created by the solution itself. None of them were pre-programmed in advance. I've given Marta access to the West Virginia State Code. I think the version I gave her is slightly out of date, so some of the dollar amounts you may hear, there might be some discrepancy there, but don't worry, I'll show you exactly where she's pulling the information from to generate her answers. And then the last thing I'll mention is I didn't have to write a single line of code to pull this solution together, which is really cool because it means pretty much anybody, even those without technical skills, can build a similar solution for themselves. So with that, let's jump in and start asking some legal questions. How much does a fishing license cost?
One moment while I review the state law. The cost of a fishing license varies depending on the type of license and whether the applicant is a resident or non-resident. For example, a Class L resident 5-day fishing license costs $8, while a Class F non-resident fishing license costs $35. The annual fee for a commercial fishing preserve license is $25. Additionally, the director may designate up to 2 days each year as free sport fishing days, during which individuals can fish without a valid West Virginia fishing license and without paying any license fee.
Do nonprofits need to carry liability insurance?
Give me a minute to see what the law says. It depends on the type of nonprofit and the services they provide. Some nonprofits, such as those that arrange excursions using trains or those providing volunteer services, may have limited liability for personal injury.
So I'm going to cut it short. If anybody wants to see the video, it's about 10 minutes. It's I think it's brilliant. I'm proud to be a part of this advancement on behalf of the agency and the state. And as you all might probably know about the Secretary of State's office, we don't do outfitters excursions and we don't do fishing licenses. But we've now built a solution that can get people the right answer in a matter of seconds. By the way, those are the right answers. Further, there's a more powerful backside. So a call center representative that might be talking to somebody can see this in text. And if they hover over it, it'll actually take them to the part of the West Virginia code that has that. So if the fishing license is $8, except on Tuesdays, they'll be able to see that and have confidence that they're giving the right answer out. So we thought this was fun. And Tara and Amber, hi, whoever's waving. And Tara and Amber wanted me to have the opportunity to share this with you. So I know we have short time windows here, so I'm going to cut it short. But if anybody has any questions, please give me a call, Chris Alder, Secretary of State's office, or shoot me an email, and I'm happy to send you a link to this video, and you can watch it yourself.
Thanks, Chris. We're getting it. We're just in these texts that are coming through. People are creeped out, but also very interested. If you have specific questions, ask Chris. We don't know anything about this technology, but it seems pretty cool. Kim, it sounds like we have Kim would like to make an announcement.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
We got you.
Thank you. I just noted earlier that I'm calling from Switzerland, so I'm about 6 hours forward. My grandson is sitting beside me here. He just wanted to tune into the call. So if some of you may know who I am, but I ran a small business. Actually, it wasn't a small business, but I ran a mattress warehouse for 35 years, started that. So my background has been in retail, and in the last 5 years, I have moved forward into franchising. And so not only can I help people start businesses in West Virginia that have a quick startup, but I'm also finding a tremendous amount of opportunity with those who are interested in franchising their own business concepts. So while a company may have 1 or 2 units, I can help them very successfully become a regional brand or a national brand. So happy to just kind of put that out there and network with anyone who may have the interest or the opportunity. But first of all, I wanted to say this is a great call, and you guys are doing, just fantastic things in West Virginia and beyond.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we know that this is an opportunity that several people might want to take advantage of. So appreciate you sharing that with the group. Any other final ecosystem updates? Anybody like to share anything? I know we saw there's an opportunity with Marion this evening. Marion, I don't know if you want to hop off mute and say anything, but if you have other opportunities I want to put in the chat, please feel free.
I just wanted to say there's a patent and trademarks, a patent search workshop available this evening at 6 p.m. and I'll put the link again in the chat.
Great, thank you. The chat's been active today, so I wanted to make sure that we made a note of that because it's way up there now, but appreciate that. Anybody else have any updates?
Hey, Amber, I dropped my email in the chat. If anybody would like that video, I can't link it to the chat, but I'm happy to email you the video. Send me a note and I'll send it right to you.
Chris, if it's open for, if you're open to sending, I can always add it to the update email too. If that would be easier than people bombarding you, because it seems like there's lots of interest of that.
Well, yes, you do have the same copy I have, so feel free to share. There's no embargo on this at all.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. So we see Vantage Ventures Demo Day and Investor Pitch Day coming soon. Those will be announced. Make sure they go and business link. Yay for YNST's online website launch. That's awesome. You guys are such a success story of the ecosystem. So super excited for that. I love that you also informed us that you're in a coffee shop. So please don't call on you. That's awesome. Well, great. This has been a really jam-packed meeting. Appreciate you all. We do want to just do a quick plug for a celebration of entrepreneurship. Global Entrepreneurship Week takes place next month, November 13th through the 19th. So always think about that as an opportunity to do some activities. And I'm sure we'll be putting out some stuff on behalf of the ecosystem, just celebrating entrepreneurship, but wanted to put that on your radar. So we appreciate you all. Tara, any final thoughts?
No, just thank you guys. We are so grateful for your input, and this is a team, so we just are really appreciative of each and every one of you. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks all. Take care.
Bye.